What if the future of medicine isn't found in another pill, invasive procedure, or lab, but in frequency? What if what we currently call modern medicine is actually operating from an archaic and fragmented lens, one that so often separates mind and body, spirit from science? And before we continue, please take a moment to simply pause the video and read over this quick message. Thank you. So I've been exploring energy-based technologies for years, and today I'm sharing my own personal experience with one that is both cutting edge and deeply rooted in a fascinating history, which is the Spooky2 Rife Machine, specifically the XM generator and remote system. Let's get into what it is, how it works, and how I've been using it for detox, daily energetic hygiene and maintenance, as well as grounding for optimal functioning from head to toe in my own physical body and being. It has helped me on a mental, emotional, and spiritual level. And I just want to take a moment here to say that a lot of this is probably going to sound wild when I first present this to you, and rightfully so. I mean, I tend to maintain a healthy level of skepticism when certain technologies and products come across my inbox, but I do not speak this lightly when I say that this is something that has truly blown my mind. And I guarantee that by the end of this video, you are going to understand this far better and far more than even I did in the beginning. It incorporates concepts from quantum physics. However, this technology is a resurgence of ancient technology, and it's a technology that was suppressed by our own institutions for many, many years. And I think there's a really important key reason why that is, and I'm so excited to share this with you. So let's break this down. Rife technology was named after Dr. Royal Raymond Rife, a scientist and inventor from the early 20th century. He believed that all disease has a frequency, and that by exposing pathogens to their resonant frequency, they could literally be destroyed without harming the surrounding tissue. Although his research was literally suppressed and largely discredited by a host of mainstream institutions at the time, many believed that Dr. Rife was onto something that challenged the current pharmaceutical and institutional status quo. Fast forward to now, we have Spooky2, which is basically a modern open source Rife system created by a group of engineers and healers who wanted to make a frequency machine both affordable and accessible. And it's one of the most versatile and community supported Rife machines that exists today. And yes, it's called Spooky2 for a reason, because it can work remotely. I'll explain that in just a moment, but the term spooky definitely holds significance here. So here's the basic setup that I've been working with: the XM generator, which runs on frequency programs, and this little device here, which is the Spooky2 remote. It's a small device that sends those frequencies into your DNA, usually through a nail clipping. Now, I've used a nail clipping, but you can also use a hair sample, a blood sample, a saliva sample, and you don't actually have to be right next to the machine for the healing to occur. So this is where what Einstein coined spooky action at a distance comes in, hence the company name Spooky2. I know that may sound completely and totally wild, right? But if you go on the basis of how even Reiki and other energy healing, activation, and calibration methods work from a distance, it's a very similar idea, because it all works based upon the phenomenon of quantum entanglement, which is of course a concept from quantum physics. So your DNA carries your energetic signature. Frequencies sent to that DNA sample are believed to literally create real change and affect you wherever you are. No wires, no physical contact necessary. Although with Spooky2, that is also an option, and an awesome one at that. You can also absolutely run these frequencies through something called contact mode using, for example, these TENS pads right here, which attach to your body, and the frequencies are transmitted this way. They can also be transmitted through other methods like plasma, laser, and PEMF through other Spooky2 devices, although I have been testing out mainly contact mode through the TENS pads, as well as the remote mode, which is my personal favorite because it is literally so versatile and can be used for so many different functions. I mean, The potential of this machine has truly blown my mind. And that's not that easy to do. You know, I play in these energetic realms every single day. This is sort of like my passion, working in these energetic spaces. You see so many incredible things and synchronistic occurrences happening in the physical 3D world. And you see the correspondences between physicality and energy. And it becomes almost a little bit difficult to be super amazed or impressed. It became clear to me early on when I first started utilizing these units that the possibility with Rife technology is literally limitless and infinite. So as I said, I personally love the remote function because it allows me to do passive, long-term healing in the background while I work, while I'm out working out, while I sleep. The software itself has tens of thousands of frequency programs. And how this works once you receive your unit is you download the Spooky2 software program from the website. The unit will hook up right into your computer and you operate the software directly from that space. There's a frequency for almost anything you can imagine in the body. And those typically fall into two categories, either healing or killing. There's also energetic frequencies where you can literally do chakra work and energetic work, kundalini, grounding frequencies. So you guys know that I've been up on all of those. But I think that what will probably really truly fascinate people is the fact that Rife technology was first suppressed after it showed great promise treating the C word. And on these platforms, I'm really not sure if I can say that in a video like this because of the current environment that we're in. 1934, a clinical trial was conducted at USC for Rife's efficacy in treating cancer and basically to evaluate the technology as a whole. So 16 terminal cancer patients from Pasadena County Hospital were treated with Rife's frequency-based therapy over a 90-day period. And listen, the results were remarkable. So 14 out of those 16 patients were said to be healed, and the 2 remaining patients took a little bit longer and some frequency adjustments, and I'm talking like a matter of weeks, to also be deemed cured, and they all made a full recovery. So that's 100%. And I'm sure you can gather why from here, this technology became a threat to our modern pharmaceutical-driven system, and a system that certainly works for profit only. Highly prominent physicians commended Dr. Rife for his work at the time, and the Smithsonian even dedicated an article to him, basically discussing the remarkable nature of his work and the results he was getting. Shortly after that, the American Medical Association and the National Cancer Institute not only discredited his work, but dismissed his treatments, and these devices were banned. So the software itself has tens and thousands of frequency programs, everything from detoxing parasites in the lymphatic system, mold, candida, to balancing and healing the mind, working with emotional trauma, the nervous system, condition after condition, and with such specificity. I mean, there is a frequency for almost everything. Whether that involves directly targeting and killing pathogens or utilizing a healing frequency or working with frequency entrainment. It's super customizable and incredibly deep once you get into it and really start to learn the ins and outs of the technology. So I've been using the Spooky2 probably for about a month and a half now. I'd love to share with you what I've noticed. The very first protocol that you run when you first receive your Rife machine is the terrain protocol. And this is basically a detoxification protocol that prepares your body for the rest of the frequencies that this Rife technology has to offer. So this is ejecting toxins and parasites and mold and cleaning the liver and the kidneys and the lymphatic system. I ran these detox presets for 11 days to begin, as you are instructed to, and I'm going to tell you that I can definitely feel the difference. Now, there is something that you may run into when using Spooky2. So I 100% felt a lightness after running the terrain protocol. But while I was running these detox protocols and presets, I definitely had my share of Herxheimer Reactions, which is basically a healing crisis. I actually have an energy healing video to support this if you ever move through this. Because when you're beginning a brand new treatment or technique or modality, there's often a period of shift in the body and a detoxification process that ensues. So you're releasing all of these toxins from your system, and basically the body cannot clear them all. Temporarily, the body struggles to keep up with this process of clearing and releasing and detoxing as the toxins are ejected into the bloodstream. So this is a very common process in holistic medicine that so many people go through. And it's actually a good sign because it means that it is working. So what I did to help myself along during this period was consume a lot of fluid and basically just prioritize getting a little extra rest and self-care. Instead of going for the super long bike ride, I just took it a little bit easier, really got in touch with my system, honored myself, and went for that massage or that reflexology. It's just a natural part of my own alignment and self-integrity, listening to the intuitive language that my own energy speaks, manifested through the somatic and physical signals of my own body. Of course, after those initial symptoms passed, I felt this renewed sense of lightness, and sort of like my nervous system was operating at full capacity again, which I now truly understand on a whole nother level, how much these parasitic energies on a physical level and these toxins play a role in our emotional health, our physical health, and the way all of our systems function. Another thing I've used Spooky2 for is energetic maintenance, hygiene, programs like grounding. Especially, I am someone who needs grounding, and very consistently it is a very important part of my practice. Not only a part of my own practice, but a part of my practice with every single client I work with. Grounding to me is super important. It is foundational and it's non-negotiable. And when I learned that I could actually utilize the Rife Machine to help me with this, I was totally floored and just amazed at how profound of a difference running a few minutes of this grounding frequency on my DNA could have. And I'm also a big fan of the frequencies for the chakra system. You can target what you're needing energetically from so many different angles, which is so unique and amazing to have that extra support while you're working or while you're sleeping. It's like another level of reinforcement, and I have found it incredibly effective. I've also used it for working with my emotions and nervous system regulation. Sometimes I'll run frequencies for emotional trauma or adrenal fatigue. I found them surprisingly regulating. It's like giving my entire system a little bit of a tune-up after a stressful day or a demanding session. It is so helpful. It's been a really great addition, and they also have these presets of all different types that you can use. There's like a daily wellness preset that actually includes a sleep induction, so you're getting like a very deep, restful sleep. And I'm going to tell you a personal story about this because this just literally amazes me. I am a super heavy sleeper, extremely heavy sleeper. I've been working a lot on my own sleep hygiene. However, there are nights that like I'm not ready to wake up in the morning because I feel like I'm getting up and I can feel like almost comatose sometimes. That's how heavy of a sleeper I am. I have no issues getting to sleep or staying asleep. No problems in that department. But the inertia of sleep can be an issue for me. I have to tell you, since running this daily wellness protocol, I'm waking up in the morning and it's like this veil has been lifted, this weight in the morning where I would feel like I literally just woke up from the dead or something. I'm now waking up and it's like, okay, do I want to get out of bed or do I want to stay a few more minutes? Where before, I didn't even have an option. So I've been pretty amazed. In that same set of frequencies includes a Schumann resonance frequency, so I'm getting that natural Mother Earth attunement and grounding, as well as some DNA repair frequencies, gamma brainwave frequencies, a full chakra balancing, a frequency for absent-mindedness, a clarity of thought and mental function stimulation frequency, a memory and test-taking improvement frequency, concentration improvement frequency, emotional balance, general aiding emotional frequency, and of course grounding in there too. So this one really surprised me. I honestly didn't expect the machine to have such a stabilizing effect, especially my lower energy centers. But I have to say, through using the remote, I definitely feel more embodied and more anchored. So a few things to definitely keep in mind. The learning curve, it's real. The software can feel overwhelming at first, but the community forums are incredible, as well as the YouTube tutorials. They're actually literally gold. Like, I definitely couldn't have figured it out without that support. And the team at Spooky2 has also been super receptive in answering my questions. There are so many forums that you can also communicate and connect with others who are going through similar healing journeys and really ask any questions that come up. This technology is not a quick fix per se, but it's cumulative work, especially if you're using the remote method. However, I have to say that I have seen real, true, measurable changes and results over a very short period of time with the issues that I mentioned, the things that I'm working with on a nervous system level, on a sleep level, on an emotional regulation level in general. I would be lying to you if I did not express how profound of an impact this machine has actually had on me. And listen, as with any frequency or energy medicine, your intuition and your integration practices and processes matter. It's totally not about outsourcing your healing. This is not about handing over your power to an external thing or person or process. This is a collaboration. This is a fusion, but it's a powerful one. It's about co-creating with these tools. Power truly does live within you. These are supportive elements that do have the potential to aid us greatly in our own healing. And I can tell you from personal experience that it is an incredible supplement to whatever you are already doing on your healing journey. So yes, it begs the question, is frequency medicine the future? You know, in many ways, I believe it already is, but I think we're going back, catching up with these ancient truths, infusing them with our modern technological systems and capacities that we have at our disposal today. There is a resurgence of ancient knowledge and wisdom that is rising up in the collective today. And I truly believe that we are going back to these more organic and natural and holistic ways of viewing our health and wellness. Instead of handing all of our power and autonomy and sovereignty over to a system that may not always have our best interest in mind. But the Spooky2 Rife system is without a doubt, unequivocally, one of the more powerful tools that I have had the opportunity to try and utilize. The use cases here are actually incredible. This type of thing right here is definitely not something that I come across every day. And if you're someone who's sensitive or intuitive, energetically aware, or let's say that you're just feeling disappointed or discouraged or desperate to find something that's working for you, maybe the traditional medical system has let you down. Maybe you're just not getting the results that you're hoping to from conventional medicine. And look, if you know anything about my story, you know that I've been there. First of all, conventional medicine has done some amazing things for me. So I'm not the type of person that cannot see the nuance in things. At this point in my journey, I will rarely write something off altogether. That is absolutely not my mentality, my objective, or my intention here. Because at one point, I had a surgery that restored my physical mobility in my spine. But I experienced a lot of health complications after that surgery. And I just was not getting answers in our traditional medical system. And I felt so frustrated, so broken, and like, what is wrong with me that these doctors can't seem to figure these issues out? Like, at the time, I took it to heart and definitely personalized it. And I did not yet understand the connection of the mind and the body and the emotions and how that actually impacts our physicality, whether that's our fascia system or our internal organs. It is all so interconnected. I'm grateful for that journey because I had to walk around in the cobwebs for a really long time before I found a series of systems in this holistic world and reawakened and remembered the ultimate energetic truth of who I am. That took time, and I want you to know that I've been there. I've been in the place where I just wanted answers, desperately yearning for solutions or someone to even understand what I was going through. And I couldn't find that. I could not find that in the system. So no matter what category you fall into, I can say with true confidence that this is worth trying. And the cool thing about Spooky is that they have made this accessible and affordable. Traditional Rife machines can run in the thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So in essence, I'm super grateful that this has become an option for people. I am so psyched to continue this journey, and I would love to know in the comments if you've ever tried Spooky2 technology or Rife machines. I'd love to hear your experiences with it, if you've interacted with this technology before. And if you're curious about it or have questions, feel free to drop them below in the comments and I will do my best to address them. There is currently a major sale going on the Spooky2 website on all of their products. So if you're interested in exploring this more, I would definitely use this time to take advantage of that. You can also utilize my unique link in the description, which will also give you a discount. And listen, just remember that the physical experience is only one dimension of existence. And just because you're struggling in one aspect or maybe not getting the result that you want with some form of treatment, it does not mean that there's not an alternative out there. It doesn't mean that there's no hope. And it doesn't mean that the very experience that you're going through right now, right in this moment, isn't shaping or molding you in some way or breaking ground for your own unique breakthrough, catalyzing your greater expansion and growth in this life. There are always options and solutions. So I invite you to visit my description box for more information. If you decide to further explore this technology, I hope you enjoy and find it just as profound as I do. Take great care.